Hi guys, sorry about this lag. Alright, so I will be reacting to the college football thing. So the selection Sunday. It's currently like 5 p.m. 4:30 here in New York. I have not watched it yet. It actually ended 30 minutes ago. But I've not watched it yet. And the only thing I know, or I'm really sure, is that IU will be number one in the country. So they will. I watched that game. Should drop the highlights, but anyway, let's get on with this. All right.
And then the next 7 highest ranked teams after that will make up the 12 teams. So Zach, our graphics operator, has everything ready to go. So let's start with the number 1 team in the final college football playoff.
My Hoosiers are number 1. I knew that. That is perfectly fair. My Hoosiers are number 1. My mom went to IU, so I have the right to like IU. So let's go, bro. And it's like I can't hear it. It's oh my god, I'm laggy. All right, now I can probably.
Made today, and they have won an outright championship in 1945. Just this year, they got out of the cellar for the losingest team in the history of the sport. And now they go into this playoff number 1, the Signetti turnaround. With all due respect to Bill Snyder, Kansas State, the greatest turnaround in college football.
First of all, Ohio State is second? No, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. Ohio State should be third, not second.
History. Ohio State and Indiana just flipped spots. So the last 2 national champions have been from the Big Ten, and 1, 2 will again be from B1G. And I think Ohio State, a little bit of question. Would it be Georgia at 2? Would it be Ohio State at 2? Committee has looked in the past at, hey, good loss, close loss. We're not going to crush you for it. They don't in the case for the Buckeyes as well, and I think it's probably makes a lot of sense to have them at 2. Now, we've talked about this quite a bit. Remember, this is different from last year, the first year of the 12-team field, when you had the 4 highest-ranked conference champions getting the byes. Now it's just 1 through 4, no matter what conference you're from. So you have 2 Big Ten teams at the top of the bracket. At number 3, we presume, will be SEC champion Georgia, and it is. The Bulldogs avenged their regular season loss.
This should be number 2.
Impressive performance in Atlanta yesterday.
Without a doubt. And we came into this thing, I was talking about identity. And when it comes to identity, no one knows who they are more than the Georgia Bulldogs. They are a physical team, and they'll take you to the phone booth. And if you can't deal with them in the phone booth, you got no shot of beating them. Controlling the line of scrimmage. They held that.
Yeah, that is true.
-3 yards rush.
Georgia should be number 2. But they actually wrecked Alabama. They lost to Alabama at home, but that's when everyone was hurt.
Hello, and you talk about Gunnar Stockton, his ability to improve throughout the season, and the defense was young early on, but the seasoned veterans now, I don't think anybody wants to see this version of the Bulldogs.
Somebody's going to, but you'll have to win a game to get there. Last year, Georgia got a bye. Didn't work out well for them. Notre Dame beat them in the Sugar Bowl. They'll try to put together a better run this time around. Number 4 in the final bye, meaning not getting a home game. And this is the only bad thing about Big 12 champion Texas Tech. Man, Lubbock would have been electric for a home game on campus. But the Red Raiders, Big 12 champion, their first conference championship since 1954. And the Red Raiders are seeded 4th, and there they are in Lubbock celebrating with Jordan McGuire.
That's so laggy.
Yeah, and what they were able to do is beat BYU again. They forced 3 turnovers, beating the first time in the regular season. Came back and did 1 better, forced 4. That defense against BYU was outstanding. That is a football team. We talk about their offense. Their defense is about as good as we've seen in the country.
But Texas Tech, good and you know what? I believe with that defense.
Oh my God, it's gonna be Oregon. It's gonna be Oregon.
Especially that national champion. That front 4, how they get on the board.
No doubt. We have David Baylor, Hyde, and Lee Hunter, defense, and Jacob Rodriguez, best linebacker in the country. Might be a Heisman Trophy finalist, if not winner. Now, team that has a home game, seeded number 5.
Oh my!
If I were him, I'd bundle my
Oh my
God! The wheel victory. Savings.
It better be. It's Oregon. It better be. I was right. Oregon. Told you.
So 3 of the top 5 teams in the country are from the Big Ten. Dan Lanning's team will open in Eugene.
And I just love when it comes to Oregon, they know who they are. Dante Moore's been playing outstanding. Kenyon Sadiq, best tight end in America.
This upcoming number is the first one where there could be some drama at 6, because you look at it, all assuming that 11 and 12 are going to be G5 teams that won their conference. 6 versus 7 is potentially significant when you take into account what your first-round matchup might be. So will it be Ole Miss like it was last week, or will it be A&M, who dropped big time after the loss to Texas?
Greg, that is a tremendous setup because it plays a huge role in who your first-round opponent
Ole
is.
Miss.
And it is Ole Miss. Pete Golding's team now seeded 6. They'll play at home against the 11 seed once we get that, which will be one of the last 2 highest-ranked conference champions.
And Oxford is going to be buzzing down there. Good for Pete Golden. He's now the permanent head coach. Lane Kiffin, the coach of LSU, allowed the OC, Charlie White Jr., to come back and call the play. So now they have the staff together, and they're ready to make a run. Trinidad Chambliss, Kawan Lacey, this defense, they feel really good about what they have now in Oxford, Mississippi.
So Ole Miss will have a home game, the biggest game in the history of Ole Miss football.
The Grove will be buzzing.
It will be. Yeah. They will win the party, and they'll try to win the game. Another home game, seeded 7.
Texas A&M.
Gig'em. Mike Elko's team lost its regular season finale as Texas kept them out of the SEC championship game. Good consolation prize. Home game with the winner getting Ohio State.
And I got to be honest, if I'm A&M, I have a bit of a gripe, frankly, because A&M, you look at their strength of schedule played, they're sitting there at 16. They're sitting 1 spot behind Ole Miss, whose strength of schedule resides at 41. You can say, well, the best win for Ole Miss, Oklahoma. Well, they went to Notre Dame and knocked off the Irish, who might
I feel like this is all, like, right. I can't say any bad things. But, like, I think Ole Miss should be 5th, and I think Texas A&M should be Texas A&M should be 7th. So just swap Ole Miss and Oregon,
the college football
please.
Team as well. So the first disagreement I have so far, but still, A&M, excellent football team. It'll be a difficult matchup for everybody.
And then the final team to get a home game.
I think A&M should go down too.
Which is college football
Oklahoma.
Now, the Sooners have struggled mightily on offense. Their defense is tough, and we got 3 SEC home games.
And you mentioned the offense. I don't know that I've seen a team in the past few weeks that have.
Oklahoma's really good. I think they should be moved up.
Whether it's a block field goal, whether it's 6.
2 losses. There's 2 losses to Texas. But Texas kind of sucks. And I'll say, I'm gonna say, I mean, Oklahoma should be going up. They've lost to Ole Miss, who's like 2 spots in front of them. Texas kind of sucks. Like, if you think about it, like they barely beat Mississippi State. Lost to Florida. They're not good.
Make a run, but their offense has to get better.
Okay, these are the teams that have the home games, and while I agree with Greg, there's a lot that you could dispute about Ole Miss and Texas A&M and the order there. This was a relatively easy part. Okay, now, because of what we mentioned again, I just want to emphasize this. I'm not trying to talk to everybody like they're kindergartners, but just remember, 2 more conference champions have to go into the field. They are highly unlikely.
Miami shouldn't be
12, so they're going to displace 2 teams in the rankings. So that means there are only 2 spots left. These are the contestants. Alabama, which lost in the SEC championship game, and the much valued debate between Notre Dame and Miami. So, number 9, who will go to Norman to take on Oklahoma?
Bama.
And it's Alabama who didn't move. Maybe the game that had Alabama sitting on the bubble, they'll get a chance to.
I like Alabama, but I think they should be like 11. Alright, so it's Miami or Notre Dame. I think it's Miami. I think Miami will be playing Texas A&M.
I think they clearly drew conclusions about Alabama based on.
But honestly, I think Alabama should go down 2 spots.
And that's the way it should be evaluated. When you take into account the teams they were being evaluated against had just 12 data points to evaluate. So Alabama needing to get back on track offensively, need desperately to get healthy, but they have an opportunity.
But none of these teams are ranked. But they
I understand
were
the concept
ranked.
of not being overly punitive for a
But
conference
FSU kind of
championship
sucks.
game. But if you're going to play them, they need to have stakes both ways to win the conference championship. And what happens if you lose?
They have to count somehow. And we're talking about Alabama maybe having the best win in the sport by going to Athens. They also have one of the worst losses by losing to Florida State. So we just cannot erase that. I'm surprised at this move right here.
Okay, but when they will have time for this, you have to define loss by record. Absolutely. If you go by power rankings, Florida State's still top 30. I'm not trying to excuse it. I'm just saying all of these things you factor in and try to define them. So now we're down. We're basically back where we started. There's one spot left in terms of at-large teams. And
It has to be Miami.
Notre Dame. So,
Imagine it's Duke. Imagine it's... Damn it!
Build a website you love with Wix.
I hate Miami. Duke fans are crashing out right now.
Without playing on the final Saturday, Notre Dame had been ranked ahead of them the entire time. And now they flipped them, Joey.
Yeah, this is very...
Show the camera like...
You mentioned earlier that they hadn't compared these two teams. Well, why not? They should have absolutely compared these two teams. We had a
Look!
on Tuesday.
Oh, Pittsburgh sucks. South Florida sucks. Lost to Louisville, who sucks. And so does SMU. So Miami shouldn't be in there. If you look at Notre Dame's resume, they play cupcakes. So honestly, I would put Virginia in over them. Even though Virginia lost to 8-5 Duke, I would put Virginia over them. I'm not looking. But I think they should put Duke ahead. I think they should put Virginia. So even though Virginia lost to Duke, who have lost 5 games, they're still made the ACC championship game. Or maybe it's been Clemson. But just Miami shouldn't be here. Look, Notre Dame is not the best team. Notre Dame's actually kind of bad. So I wish they gave it to Virginia. ACC sucks. Or maybe just
They are a very good football team. They have a chance to win just like any other team. But it is strange to me that you have two teams that were sitting on the couch yesterday that somehow flipped in their rankings.
I would say, just saying, then I'll let you make your point, Booger. There's
That
not
was
a lot of difference in terms of the entire body of work if you're looking at the analytics. Notre Dame's a little bit higher in FPI, which is a forward-looking measure. They're basically the same everywhere else.
So here's the thing to your point. We do this week in and week out.
Yeah.
It's a beauty pageant. Now that the season is done, it's a resume contest. And so it's very easy to go back and compare these two teams when it comes to the resume contest, because now the head-to-head has to come into effect.
Their resume didn't change from Tuesday.
I know, but everybody's resume is complete from the standpoint of
Their resume was already complete.
But
today doesn't change their resume. It was complete when we had the ranking on Tuesday. And so if we're going to make
It's James Madison and Tulane. Tulane should be ahead. James Madison. I'm just gonna skip it. Tulane, yep, and then James Madison.
And it is.
Yep, James Madison. Alright, so that is it with the video today. I am excited to end this. So